Howdy folks, Michael Kreider here for SlashGear.com, and today we're taking a look at the brand new Lenovo ThinkPad X230. And this is an updated model to their X220, the 12.5 inch, not quite, it doesn't really fit into the ultra portable category anymore because it's just a little bigger than you would expect to see at something this size. But still very, very small, and it's got that 12-inch screen. Now, the main differences between the old X220 model you're going to see are these this brand new chiclet keyboard. It doesn't have the old sort of full-length, full-size keys that the old ThinkPads have. They're not much smaller, they just have these sort of gaps in between them, like most of the new computers these days. And then you've also got, for I believe the first time on this particular model line, you've got an optional backlit keyboard. And I know it's pretty tricky to see that from there, so let's see here. And in addition to the backlit keyboard, which again, very tricky to see with these photo lamps going at the same time, you still have the Think Light, the little light up here near the camera area, right next to the webcam. Now, this is one of their smaller screens. It is extremely bright, surprisingly bright for a screen in this particular model. It is matte. It doesn't have the glossy finish that other laptops do, although the resolution is a little low at 1366 by 768, which is pretty standard for these size. But we've seen other companies that are getting 1600 panels into laptops in a similar size, but unfortunately we don't have it here. So what else have we got on this thing? We have an optional finger scanner, biometric is what it's probably listed as. Looking over on the side, we've got a standard USB port, and on the ThinkPads, that yellow color means that it's powered even when the ThinkPad isn't on. Basic Ethernet, SD card, and this port here looks like it's for the hard drive, your standard Kensington laptop lock. On the back we've got the removable battery, power port, looks like a ventilation port. On the bottom, not a whole lot. You've got your RAM access, and that's about it. And then over on the other side, we have an old school VGA connector right next to a mini DVI connector, which is a new feature on this particular laptop. And then both of these USB ports here are USB 3.0 rated. They don't have that blue indicator, but they are rated for USB 3.0. And you've got a mini PC card slot right here. Other than that, I am a big fan of the ThinkPad series, so I will bring over my personal machine. This is the 14-inch T420. As you can see, it's quite a bit larger. We'll just compare the screen sizes. One thing I don't like about this particular model, you can see that it's coming up as I pull up the lid. It doesn't have the locking mechanism like other ThinkPads do. It's similar to the X300 or the X1 in that capacity. It just, the lid just flips up. But these hinges are so stiff that you've got to kind of work at it. So, there is the 12-inch and the 14-inch right next to each other. The 12-inch has a much brighter screen, but it is a lower resolution. And obviously, the 12-inch is quite a bit lighter. Yeah, this is definitely a bit of a bulky laptop these days. They have updated the T-Series. We don't have that model in just yet. So for something a little more relevant for this size, we're going to bring in one of the new Ultrabooks. The ThinkPad X230 does not technically qualify as an Ultrabook, even though it is very much an ultra-portable. So here is the Dell 13-inch Ultrabook, the XPS 13. And you can see that right next to it. Obviously the Dell is quite a bit thinner and lighter, and it's got that metal casing, and then on the bottom it's got carbon fiber, which helps with the lightness. The ThinkPad is going with the old school plastic, which very tough, very sort of grippy, but it isn't quite as attractive, and it does tend to pick up fingerprints. So we'll take another look at these screens. The Dell has a slightly larger screen, but it is glossy. It does pick up the light really quickly, but they are identical resolutions. The Dell is a little bit brighter, as you can see with, let's pull up that blue wallpaper just for, well actually, with the bright lights here in the studio, the ThinkPad has the advantage because it has that matte screen. But in general, everyday use, I found that the Dell here has an advantage thanks to 300 nits on that back panel. So, we'll be taking a good look at the X230 over the next week or two, and we will have a full review ready for you near its release time, which is early June. And the X230 is starting around the, I think it's 1,000, 1,100 mark, and it's obviously going to go up the more the high-end components that you put in. So, I'm Michael Kreider for SlashGear, and this is the Lenovo ThinkPad X230. Thank you very much for watching.